Hello and welcome back to the Rusty Law Firm and, of course, the great colony of Rusty, Fleming, Dahlia, and Zaif. Unfortunately, I still don't know how to make this a dictatorship. It's kind of the worst. I would prefer to have a dictatorship up in this colony, but apparently everyone's like, oh, we're gonna have a democracy. We don't want to be ruled by Rusty. Why not? Rusty's only a sort of terrible person. I mean, you can do worse than him. Not much worse. I mean, it's pretty hard to do worse than him, but, you know, you get the idea. He's not the end of the world. Geez, it's still 3 degrees Celsius in there, isn't it? This thing is set to -15. Dude, cooler. You gotta work on this, mate. This cooler is seriously slacking off at this point. I cannot accept this from any cooler. Cooler, try harder. You know, honestly, we may very well need a second cooler in here. Even with this small space, it's just like, not even like, but literally 31 degrees Celsius out here, and that is pretty warm, last I checked. Like, there aren't all that many places that are constantly 31 degrees Celsius, but this is one of them. Yeah, it's gonna go right here. A second cooler to keep this from being freaking hot as heck. And then, okay. So last time, getting off the whole cooler thing, we did start to build up the different offices so that we can start moving people into the actual law firm instead of living in what can only be called hovels. Yeah, this is kind of the worst. I mean, I don't think anyone wants to live in any of these places, especially not this one, which is not air-conditioned or lit. Sorry, Zaif. I mean, honestly, I don't care all that much, but, you know, it's kind of the worst, isn't it? Yeah. So we need to light this up, too. Who's more important, Fleming or Dahlia? Definitely Fleming. So, can we just, uninstall that lamp and put it in here? Yeah, no. That's gonna be how it works. Basically, lamps and air conditioning are doled out on a basis of necessity. Whoever is more important to the colony gets more lamps and air conditioners. I say that. You only ever get one air conditioner. You don't get more than one. That'd be absurd. Imagine one of these rooms having, like, 3 or 4 air conditioners in there. That would totally be Rusty's room, by the way. Like, no doubt. Oh, speaking of Rusty's room, I did just realize we're gonna have to try to cool that room. And that room's kind of like in the middle of the structure. We're gonna need, like, a cooling vent in there somewhere. So I'm figuring if we're gonna set up a nice little cooling area, because we need to vent the hot air from the coolers somewhere. And while it would be hilarious to vent it into the hallway where all of the disgusting little peons are working, that's not really efficient because we need to cool that too. I think if we just set up a little ventilation shaft here where this is going to be completely open, we'll just vent all the hot air out of there and hope it doesn't, like, I don't know, spontaneously explode with the amount of heat that's going to be built up in such a small area. I mean, it's going to be really hot. These heaters, these coolers actually make a surprising amount of heat. You know, in saying that, I wonder if it's possible to create a ventilation system where you have a cooler going into one room, a heater into the other, and then you just vent the air into the proper positions. Oh, that could be good. That could be good. Then we'd only ever need... Can someone close that door? Who's... What? Fleming? Door closed, thank you. Zaif? Please don't leave a door open when you pass out. That's not acceptable, Zaif. You should know the rules of this colony by now, Zaif. When you pass out, no doors are left open, especially not if it's the walk-in fridge. That is unacceptable. Okay. So, ooh, it looks like our first room is basically completed at this point. That is beautiful. That is absolutely gorgeously beautiful. Who's actually going to move in here? I would figure the Fleming's the right person to go in there because, you know, Fleming is, after all, our most useful and important member of the colony. basically ever, because, you know, that's just how you do it. Fleming is so much more useful than someone like Zaif, who currently, I mean, I guess it is the middle of the night, so he's not, I was gonna say he's sleeping on the job, but once it gets to like 12 a.m., I don't think you can still count it as sleeping on the job. Now Zaif is just sleeping. What a lazy, lazy man, Zaif. I'm watching you. He's got a pistol. Can we trust Zaif with a pistol? Pretty sure it'll be fine. A Muffalo self-tamed? Dude! You know, I hate gazelles. I'm not gonna have any gazelle up in our colony, but a Muffalo, I will totally accept that. Especially if, like, you can get the entire herd to come in, Mr. Muffalo 1. That'd be amazing, because we'll totally butcher half of them and then keep the rest. Oh, that'd be so good. Oh, look. There's a small, teensy little forest fire. Just burning through the world. How do you feel, forest fire? It appears that said forest fire feels very much like continuing to spread. I mean, I imagine it is actually very, very dry out here, so everything's gonna go up like a tinderbox. Oh, that's quite unfortunate. On one hand, I mean, on the other hand, I don't really care, because that's not anywhere near our colony. And I'm pretty sure it's not even gonna get that far. Like, there's just not that much stuff to burn around here. Eventually, it'll just die out. Don't worry about it. I'm sorry, fire. You were doomed before you even began. Good luck. It's not gonna have any good luck. So, Fleming, what are you actually doing right now? Oh, you're cloud watching. Fleming, I'm trying to tell people that you're a really cool person and that you're doing a good job. You need to, like, keep up with that good job, mate. That's the only way this is gonna work out. Okay. Fleming has this huge propensity to eat in the receptionist area. I don't think that's acceptable. I don't know about you, but I haven't seen very many office receptionist areas. Ooh, penoxycyllin. I haven't seen very many office reception areas that have allowed people to just casually eat all of their meals in there. Doesn't sound quite right. Where did that go? Penoxycyllin? There it is. Could you go haul that back into the colony so we have that? So, penoxycyllin should be coming in. And we've got a bunch... Oh, don't even. Looks like it's a male psychic drone. Rusty is now just losing his mind right now. He was kind of, like, depressed and freaking out because he just does research all day, which consists of just staring at a desk until eventually he has some brilliant idea and then jots it down on a piece of paper. But mostly, it's sitting in a room by himself, completely empty, that's like, it's 28 degrees Celsius, staring at a desk, not moving, until he has an idea, which honestly doesn't work out very well. Oh, is that now outdoors? Can we get that cooler set up now, Fleming? Like, you just tore down the wall and you haven't worked on the cooler yet. That's not acceptable, Fleming. Did you just bring 3 steel? Fleming, you disgust me sometimes. I was trying to call you the most important person in the colony outside of Rusty, because Rusty is always the most important person in the colony. And then you gone done and done this. I see how it is, Fleming. I see. She's trying to play us at this point. There we go. Now we got a second cooler. If we drop this down to, like, I don't know, -10, that'll probably make sense. And we can raise this up to -10, and hopefully those two together should be able to keep it sub-0 in there. Hopefully. Cross your fingers. Okay. So it looks like this room has actually been finished. At this point, we're going to tear down Fleming's bed. And Fleming, you're going to be sleeping in an office room. I mean, it's an office room with a dirt floor, but you're going to have to get over that, Fleming. We're going to work on it, Fleming. We can't have everything immediately, Fleming. Okay, she's going to eat. Then we're going to have her take this stuff down. We're going to get a light in here. Because I'm pretty sure that to some extent, he's being slowed down. These people are being slowed down by the fact that there's no light in that room. Which I can kind of understand. It's one thing to sit in a fully lit room and just stare at a desk. It's another to go into a completely dark room and then try to do something like, I don't know, cook a meal. I feel like that's very dangerous. Like, seriously, the whole they're probably going to cut their hands off thing is a pretty serious problem. Let's get the standing lamp in there, Fleming. Please complete the standing lamp. Fleming, no, stop, Fleming. Don't do that. Right, we have to set this up and install it over here. There we go. That's what we want to do. Go, Fleming. Dahlia is officially... Fleming? Fleming, what the heck? Why did you just bring that into storage, Fleming? Come on, Fleming. Let's try harder here. Stick it in the actual crafting room. Fleming knows nothing of efficiency. There you go. You guys happy? You guys all good? Zaif is just continuing to beaver away on just the most bricks anyone has ever seen in their life. I mean, admittedly, this is actually the most bricks anyone has ever seen in their life. Because, quite frankly, there's not that many bricks anywhere else. Man, this place is going to be just ridiculously nice, isn't it? Oh, I cannot wait to see the full fruition of the Rusty Law Firm having customers day in, day out coming into the receptionist area being like, I have been wronged. And we're like, well, give us money. And they'll be like, oh, okay. And then we'll kick them out because we now have their money. And they made the standard business mistake of giving someone their money before they actually agreed to any form of services. Rusty is not above that. In fact, he's all about that. That's basically how Rusty do. Yeah. It's not exactly what you would call the most, what would you call it? Legitimate business in the world? Yeah, it's probably how you put that one. Not exactly super legit, but you know what? It'll get done, and so long as we have a constant stream of people to swindle, which I think we will have, because there is, even though this is a rim world, there's a surprisingly large quantity of people in said rim world. So I'm pretty sure, just saying, that we will not run out of people to swindle. Okay. How do we need to set this up? Is that the right direction? It is so hard to tell which direction these filing cabinets need to face. I think it's here. We'll set that up. And then, where's the dresser? There it is. Yet another nice office room is going to be set up. And this should be for probably Zaif, because Dahlia is more or less the least... Oh, my word. Look at him. Look at him. He's so big. He doesn't even fit in Rusty's room. Rusty, why are you letting a Muffalo sleep in your room if it doesn't even fit? That's ridiculous, Rusty. Whatever. Well, so in terms of what we're actually going to need outside of, building the structure, we're probably going to need a person to specifically be the janitor in this colony. I know we've had that in the past with our slightly senile old lady that we got to be our janitor in a previous colony, but we're going to need probably a slightly senile old lady to clean up all this rubble and dirt that gets tracked in here, because as a legitimate law firm, we cannot have dirt and such just casually being traipsed into the rooms. We have to maintain perfect cleanliness at all times. So, yeah, janitor's definitely going to be a thing we need. And then we will also get some power out to here. And is this sub-zero? It is. It's -7 degrees. That's perfect. Everything is officially frozen. Can we, Dahlia, can you do hauling? Can you please haul that herbal medicine into the cooler? Because, I don't want that to go bad. It's kind of important that we keep that stuff. Thank you, Dahlia. I appreciate that. It is now frozen herbal medicine. That is perfect. Oh, Fleming is just beavering away right now. Fleming, I would say you're the best construction person, but I'm pretty sure you're not that good. No, you're just 6. But I appreciate that you're trying and you're learning over time. That is definitely appreciated. The Rusty Law Firm, while being a terrible iron-fisted overlord, does, in the very least, appreciate and generally support people trying their best to do their best day in, day out. partially because I guess it stops peasant uprisings, but at the same time, it does also help to create innovation within our company, which is, I think, important. I don't know. Look, I don't know how to run a law firm. I'm just making this up as I go. I mean, look at this thing. This doesn't look anything like a law firm. Who has beds in their offices? That's ridiculous. I mean, I guess RimWorld law firms are the ones that have beds in their offices. This bed is a wooden bed, isn't it? We're not really going to use that. It's kind of unfortunate. We're going to have to install it and then tear it down, because it just so happens that we're putting in actual marble beds, which look nice and aren't disgusting and made of wood, a building material that everybody in the world legitimately hates so much, except for mahogany, because who doesn't like a nice mahogany door? I don't know. Is mahogany doors overdoing it? I guess for Rusty it wouldn't be, but for most other people, if we gave Dahlia a mahogany door, I'm pretty sure that would be basically giving her way too much stuff. So that's not going to be acceptable. What were we setting up here? Right, this is the dining area. This is the kitchen. This is the walk-in fridge. That's right. Okay. As soon as we actually get these areas set up, we'll be able to start working probably on the dining area and then eventually on the office, the conference room. And we'll need a whole training wing with the whole leadership thing and the ability to actually set up classrooms. Wouldn't it be nice to have a RimWorld globe? That'd be great. We can have a chalkboard and a RimWorld globe and a nice teacher's table. Can we make this out of marble? Oh, we can. Look at that. Oh, we can make all this stuff out of marble. Oh, we can make a marble ballot box. I mean, actually, there's no reason to make a ballot box because, yeah, we are not all about egalitarian government. We're more about we're gonna take over everything and you guys are just gonna have to get over it, but, you know, that's just how it goes. So where are we actually gonna set up research, by the way? Should we set it up in Rusty's room? No, I think we're gonna need a specific research wing. You know, we could set up, instead of just a classroom, something like, probably over this way, a sort of university wing that has the classroom as well as the research area and some other stuff that I guess we'll put in there at some point. I don't even know. I don't know what else would go in there, but we'll just have to figure it out because, you know what? We've figured it out in the past, and I'm pretty sure we can keep doing that. So we'll see what can get set up in here in terms of like a university learning area. What we could use, actually, is bookshelves. That'd be great. Those are shelves, but those aren't actual shelves. Those are for weapons and such. Wait, what? Items stored in this will not deteriorate even if outside. Huh. Interesting. I didn't know that applied to things that were outside as well. Intriguing, intriguing. We will also need an armory, won't we? That's usually not something you have in a law firm, last I checked. But the Rusty Law Firm is definitely going to require some form of armory. Fleming, do you want an armory in your law firm? She's not responding. She's probably ignoring me. She's very intently working on that door because I guess it's now her life's work to work on a door. Man, she is really learning quite quickly. Just like completely honestly. She is going for it. 5,500. Fleming, you're going to be the best construction worker we've ever seen in like 7 seconds. That will be amazing. Anyway, Fleming is continuing to build the law firm as that brings us for now to the end of this episode. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, like and subscribe. Next time, we will return to the Rusty Law Firm, and hopefully we'll be able to finish off the last few office areas so that we can begin actual movement of all of the main workers into the structure, and then we'll start working on Rusty's room itself. But until then, thanks for watching, and of course, as always, Enjoy the rest of your day.